wonderful moment. God is great all the time, and God is keeping us safe all the time. He is God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If it is your first time you come across this channel, the Camp Gilgal TV channel, I kindly request you to subscribe. And once you subscribed, you like the video. And once you like the video, you share it to all your social media platforms. May God bless you by doing so. But if you are already a member of community of Camp Gilgal TV, I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. And thank you for your support, for watching and liking the video. And thank you for your support and for watching and commenting on the video. May the Lord whom I serve bless you. May the Lord whom I served protect you. May the Lord whom I served provide for all your need, and He must give you wisdom and for you to have an ability to do beyond measure. Because once you have a wisdom, you will do beyond measure. God bless you and God will be with you. Today we're going to share on Solomon, grand coronation and the public charge. Solomon, grand coronation and the public charge. You'll find the story very well in 1 Chronicle chapter 29 to chapter 30. 1 Chronicle chapter 21 to 29 to chapter 30, you find a narration of this story. Also in 1 Kings, you find a narration of this story. There is event that precede Solomon coronation, and there is also event that will escalate or unfold post coronation of Solomon. But there is some people which they play part on this coronation of Solomon. That I will start by them giving the introductions of it. It will be a message because of the time scale of my video. I'll put it two part. Part 1 today and part 2 tomorrow, next time we meet again by God's grace. God bless you and God be with you. Have a wonderful time. Let us share and like the video, please. Like the video and subscribe. Do not forget to do that. The introductions of this sharing with you today. Adonijah. Adonijah is David's fourth son. And is the oldest son in this time because some of his older brother died. And now Adonijah became the oldest living son of King David. Solomon have been his 9 or number 10 son. Was number 9 or 10 of David's sons. David have a grace to have many sons. God has given him that grace to have many sons. But that one also came with some troubles. That is not part of us today. Okay, let us continue. Now, since David reigned in Jerusalem was for 33 years. Since David reigned in Jerusalem was for 33 years, therefore Adonijah was 35 years born. Yes, because Adonijah was not born in Jerusalem. He was born in Hebron. And when David killed him in Hebron, Adonijah was already born, and Adonijah in this time is 35 years old. And Solomon was younger. Man, in his late teens or early 20. He was, among some scholars say he was 15, others say 18, 19, others say early 20. Now, you see now the difference of age between Solomon and Adonijah. And according to the Eastern culture, that means Adonijah is supposed to become king, and because he's the oldest son of the living sons of David. Adonijah is supposed straight away to replace his father as a king. But the providence divine will do that Solomon become a king of Israel instead of Adonijah. Now, David was older in that time. David is old and is frail. And they even given him Abishag to be warming him up, a young teenager girl that they given to David to warm David up because he was old and frail. That how it was. Now, Adonijah was very handsome boy, if I can call him a boy or a man. He was a very handsome boy. Do you remember Absalom? Absalom was his oldest brother. You now you understand. Adonijah and Absalom, they have one mother and one father, who is David, of course. And Absalom was his oldest son. And if you can understand how the Bible describes Adonijah, Absalom, you'll understand Adonijah also have the same physical things of his oldest brother Absalom. And Adonijah was very handsome. And he has, on top of that, 50 men as bodyguard. He has 50 men as a bodyguard. 2 Samuel chapter 15, verse 1, he described that. He has 50 men as a bodyguard. Adonijah remind me of some of African authorities when they are on the street. They pass on the street with conveys of even third car and soldiers with weapons all over and to scare the people. That's how Adonijah was. When Adonijah is walking on the street of Jerusalem, he has his 50 bodyguard around him and surrounding him, and the people that do not dare to come near or cross to him because the prince is coming. That's how Adonijah was. Now, there was a time he want to take the advantage. The advantage Adonijah want to take is the father is old and is frail. He's not dead yet, but he's still alive. The only things that the father is old and frail. Now, by the father being old and frail, Adonijah want to take this advantage to take the kingdom by force. He want now to take the kingdom by force. And by doing that, he conspired. He conspired with the key power brokers of the kingdom. There are some key power brokers of the kingdom. You cannot talk about the administration of King David without mentioning Joab. Joab, the almighty commander of the army of King David. Now you understand how powerful Joab was in the kingdom. He was a commander, a long-time commander of the army of King David. And even when you go to read the mighty man of David, Joab is on top of that list. Now, he conspired with Joab. He invited Joab, and Joab accepted to go to the coronation of Adonijah. Now, he conspired also with the higher priest of the time, the great higher priest who was Abiathar. Remember this name that we will conclude when we conclude this sermon with this guy, Abiathar. He conspired with Abiathar. Abiathar was David's trusted priest. He was King David trusted priest once he was really, really loyal to David, Abiathar. Very loyal to David. He endured hardship with David when King Saul was after David. But now they are begging David, oldest son, which is Abiathar. They even forgotten that. I will give you that one. as far as we are going with our sermon, David did say publicly that Solomon will be the next king. But Joab and Abiathar, they disregard that public pronouncement of King David to go and join Mr. Adonijah for his so-called coronations. That's how it was. Now, in all of that, because his coronation was by invitations, it was RVP, by invitation. If you are not invited, you can come. You can come to Mr. Adonijah, what you call coronation. Now, he made a mistake, he did not invite Nathan, the prophet of the time of King David. He did not invite Nathan, the great prophet. He did not invite Benajah, the up-and-coming great commander, who will be the commander of army under Solomon's administration. He did not invite Benajah, who was a great mighty man among the mighty men of David. Benajah was also a mighty man. He did not invite Benajah. He did not also invite his brother Solomon, who was even promised to be a king. Adonijah did not invite Solomon. He did not even invite the special guard of King David. He did not invite them. Now, let us see Nathan's plan, how Nathan activates Solomon's support. Once you read the 1 King chapter 1, verse 11 to verse 14, and verse 15 to verse 27. 1 King chapter 1 from verse 11 to verse 27. Let's say just that. First, verse 11 to verse 27, that way it is how Prophet Nathan activate Solomon's support. When he has seen and observed that the kingship, if I do not do anything, is running away from King Solomon and is going to Adonijah. And in that time, if you were not part of the invitation, once he succeeds to take a power, you will be the next to be executed when he's sitting on the chair of authority. He will execute you. That's how it is. Let me arrive to say this. There is no authority, listen to me careful, there is no authority without the shedding of the blood. There is no authority without the shedding of the blood. For Christ to have this authority in the heaven, on the earth, downstairs of the earth, he has to shed his blood at the cross of Calvary. Then he dominate, overrule, or he trumped every authority that has dared to come and challenge him. Because his name is above any name that you can name. That's what I wanted to tell you that. Now, Bathsheba, who is Solomon's mother, and Nathan, I need to run, time is running. Bathsheba and Solomon's mother and Nathan appealed to King David. That is 1 Kings chapter 1, verse 15 and to verse 27. They appealed to King David. This is what you say, now he's going that road. Now Nathan is the prophet who has brought the prophecy that included the Davidic covenant. That is Nathan. For you now to arrive to understand the relationship between Nathan and King David. They have stories, they have history, they have experience together. He brought that Davidic covenant to 1 Samuel 7, chapter 7, verse 14. He has probably also spoken a God word to David about King Solomon to be his successor. And the one to build also what? The temple. That is Nathan's relationship with King David. 1 Chronicle chapter 22, verse 8 and 9, and chapter 28, verse 6. Now Nathan see God being frustrated by Adonijah and his people by the action of Adonijah that is doing. That's why Nathan has taken ahead. You need some time in a life to anticipate. You don't need to stay quiet. You need to do what? To anticipate. When you see the action that is taken up is not good enough for you, anticipate. Anticipate to block and to stop or to move ahead, 3 steps ahead of your enemy. You need to do that. And David, and they advised David, and he advised also Bathsheba, and saying to remind the King David of his public promise that about Solomon will be his successor. He advised Bathsheba to do that. And Bathsheba went to King David as a wife and reminded King David as a husband, reminded by his wife that you say my boy Solomon will be the king. And that the plan is taking out. But you need to put in mind the other side. Adonijah is going with his secret by invitation coronations. Now something must come to come and counter attack the coronation by secret invitation of Adonijah by the actions of the real king, King David. Whom is he giving his throne to? Is he giving the throne to Adonijah? Is he giving his throne to Solomon? Remember, both are his sons. And remember, Adonijah is the oldest. And remember, Solomon is the youngest. Now, who is going to sit there? And who is going to do that? Because here Solomon is not taking any action. Here Adonijah is already taking the action and is going ahead with some of his backer to come and to be proclaimed king of Israel. Now Solomon activation of his coronation is become now a public event. Adonijah coronation was a private event, but Solomon's first coronation has become a public event. A public event that everybody has been invited. All the nation, all the people from the nation, they've been invited. And the king, in 1 King chapter 1, verse 39 to 40, say, we are going to Angion, that way we are going to coronate King Solomon as the king. And David, the Bible saying in 1 King chapter 47, chapter 1, verse 47, verse 48, 1 King chapter 1, verse 47 and verse 48. Listen to this. The king bowed in worship on his bed and said, praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, who has allowed my eyes to see a successor on my throne today. Today, when they were going out to Angion to do coronation, a public coronation, and people were gathering and people were following, and because Solomon did not go in private way, he went in a public way. The king has given him the robe of the king. The king has given him all the garment of the king, and he has a chariot of the king. He has the soldiers around him. He has the people following him. And the king even bowed in worship. And the Bible says King David rejoiced that day. And once he did that, this was the first coronation of King Solomon. I will stop today here because of the time, and we will carry on next time. The first coronation of King Solomon was this one. And the people shouted. They shouted, long live the king! Long live the king! Long live the King. Long live the King. It's just getting good and sweeter. We will continue next time. Do not forget to subscribe. God bless you. Bye.